Texas boxing scene is here with Travis Crawford, who was victorious in Laredo about a week and a half ago.
Ye-
Um, 2 weeks ago.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on the win, Travis. Tell us what that was like to go into Laredo and get a win over Alex Ramos, a local fighter, a big star there. What was that like?
It was amazing. It was an unreal feeling because it was just an unreal feeling going to somebody else's backyard and just doing what I do. I had a game plan from the very beginning and we executed it out perfect.
I seen you the night before or the week before at the Jared Anderson card in Corpus Christi, and I talked to you, and I told you it was going to be a tough fight. You were extremely confident. You got the win, but I told you it was going to be a tough fight. What did you think of Alex, and how was the fight?
He is a tough fighter. I I knew what he was gonna do from the beginning. He tried to walk me down and he tried to sit there and brawl with me, but I stayed smart. I stayed textbook smart, and I used my boxing IQ to do what I needed to do.
I wanted to talk to you about that because you used to, or in the past, you would have sat and traded with them for the full 8 rounds, 8 rounds,
Yes,
6 rounds, 8 rounds, 8 rounds. And this time you used the ring, you boxed a little more. What is that maturity, or you know what made you not sit and trade with them for like he would have liked?
it's I would say it's just maturity. Like we're starting to get into the bigger rounds. We're starting to get into. I mean, my next fight we are looking at a 10 rounder now for my next fight because even after those 8 rounds, I didn't feel tired. So we're looking into 10 rounds, and then eventually we'll get into those 12 rounds. So
12 round fights, absolutely.
it's maturity. You gotta grow as you grow into the rounds, and it's exhausting having to sit there and bang it out for all that time when you just it's just maturity. I would say.
You you've come a long way. You've matured a lot as a fighter. Your skills are sharper. You're not just a banger in there anymore. Like you said, you're a boxer who uses the ring. You've improved a lot. What's it like to have started off 0-2 and now have won 7 in a row, and you have all these eyes on you? What's that progression like?
It's definitely amazing. I do feel. I mean, of course, everyone wants to have that undefeated record. Personally, like I feel like that those two fights are fights I should have taken, so I should easily be 9-0 right now. But it's it's definitely it's definitely I would say it's confident boosting now because like everyone knew me as that one guy that was 0-2, and now everyone knows me as like, hey, this dude's making a big come up. Like, and all I can really do is just thank my management team and thank my coaches. That they've really helped me out a lot on this journey.
And I see you got a sweatshirt on there. You want to give anyone a shout out there
Oh yeah, it's a ferocious boxing gym.
in San Antonio?
Yeah.
You got all your belts in the back there. You got all your hardware there. Why don't you walk us through us and tell us what each belt is?
This one is the ABF West Atlantic belt. I won it here at home in Corpus against Kalen Alfred in a unanimous decision in a 6 round fight. This one is the ABF USA belt. I won it at the 135 pound class, but it's sad to say I will be vacating all of these belts to drop down to 130.
I wanted to talk to you about that. So, look, they're still yours. You still won them. They don't take them back. They're yours. You earned them. But 130, I always thought you were a little small for 135. I always thought 130 was a better fit for you. What led to that decision?
Uh, I weighed in super underweight. I weighed in at 132 for this fight, and this is the first fight where like I've truly like been dedicated into camp. I dieted right. Like I had a whole nutritionist, meal prep. I lifted weights throughout this whole camp. I've trained 5 times a day for this fight, and I realized like I was on weight at the fight where I saw you at. That's why I looked so skinny and dead.
Yeah.
But I was already on weight, and when it came down to fight day, I thought my scale was off at home. It was off by like 3 pounds, so I thought I was going into fight at 135 on the dot. I was gonna weigh in at 135 on the dot. But when we got to the arena, or not the arena, the weighing place, I weighed in at like 132.8, and I was like, oh shoot, like what the heck happened here?
So it was it's a scale issue in a positive sense. I've seen scale, it's a pound or two off the other way, and people show up overweight. So it's good that,
Yeah.
yeah. But I think 130 is a better fit for you.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
what are your thoughts on fighting at 130? The spectrum, kind of the and just the 130-pound division and all. Hey, who do you want to fight? Who do you have your eye on? What are your thoughts on going down to 130 and fighting that weight class?
Uh, I would just tell everybody watch out. I hit hard at 135, so I can only imagine how hard I'll be hitting at 130. Eventually, maybe it's not for sure thing. Maybe in the future, see how I feel at 130 and see how the weight cut is at that. We might even end up dropping down to 126. So
Is
it's
that something
testing the
that
water.
you guys have talked about? I mean, because we're going from 135 to 126. That's a pretty sizable
Cut.
jump. Yeah, that's a pretty sizable cut. Um, is that something you think you can do, or you want to see how 130 goes first, or what's the plan there?
I want to see how 130 goes first. I want to see how like the fight, how the feeling at 130 goes, how the cut goes, and just I just want to make sure like I mean I know I can make 130, but I just want to know that I will perform the way I want to perform at 130.
So walking around, the week or two before the fight, how much do you weigh, and then how difficult is that weight cut to get from whatever you're walking around at to 130?
So the beginning of the week before the fight, I was at the week of the top ring fight. I was at 138.2, and I was just bouncing back and forth.
You're fighting the wrong weight class. You're fighting the wrong weight class.
Yeah.
You're walking around at three pounds above the weight, and you said your scale was 3 pounds off, so you're really walking around at the weight.
Yeah. So I'm walking around 35, just walking around 35, and I'm thinking I'm at 138. So I'm already on weight without even knowing it. So like I felt good though. Like I was eating right. Everything, like I said, everything for camp was just perfect. I couldn't have asked for a more perfect start and ending to camp.
I'm glad it went well. And talk about the fight. It was competitive. I think it was a majority decision. One had it even, and the other two. Is that right?
It was a split
It
decision.
was a split decision. So you haven't been in a fight like that where you went to the scorecards not knowing the outcome, or were you really? What talk to me about your mindset going into the last round and then right before they read off the cards.
So going to the final round, I knew that I had won. I knew that I did enough to get the win. I knew I did enough to secure the win. It was just coming into the opponent's backyard and just are they gonna give me the win? So I knew I was confident. I was confident that I had won, and then when I heard split decision, I was like, oh shoot, I was a little nervous, but and then they called my name, and I just you see in the video, I freaking jumped up almost
Yeah,
through the roof.
that's my next question. Did you know you had that kind of vertical? Did you know you had that kind of hops?
Oh, I
Is
did
there
not.
basketball in your background, volleyball, something like that with those kind of hops?
I played football, but I didn't know I had them kind of hops.
The picture, you look like Vince Carter elevating off the ground. It's crazy. It's like I didn't know he had that kind of bounce on a vertical, right? You
Yeah,
just yeah.
I was a little shell shocked myself. I was like, God dang! I was like, I almost jumped over the ref.
But you got the decision. You're 7-2 now, 7 straight wins. Like you said, you're going down to 130. What's the game plan? When do you want to be fighting elite level fighters, and when do you think you'll be back in the ring?
We are looking more towards June because we're staying in the gym right now. We haven't really taken a week off or anything. I've been trying to stay active, staying in shape, and just push myself to get ready for June. That's our main goal right now. Right now, I'm walking around probably about 145, 146. At least that's what my scale says. But so
So that's
really,
3 pounds off. Take away
really
3 pounds. Yeah.
but we're just staying ready. So we got to get back to getting ready. And
And like you said, you run off 7-2. Is this where in the past it may have been a sport, a hobby to you? This now your profession? Is this your life? Is this what you do for a living now?
this is my career.
It's your career? Yeah.
I'm staying to this. There's no plan B. There's no backup. There's no if this fails, I'll just go back to school. No, this is what I want.
Kobe Bryant once interviewed. He was at a basketball camp with high schoolers, and he was talking to high schoolers. He said, "Who's got a backup plan?" And all the kids raised their hands, said, "Yeah, I want to do this. I'll do this." And Kobe Bryant said, "You know what my backup plan was? I didn't have a backup plan. I was going to be an NBA player. That's the end of the story, right?" I like that mentality. You show up to a dice game, like, I gotta roll a 6. Well, what happens if you don't roll a 6? No, I'm gonna roll a 6, right? Like, this is gonna work. I like that mentality. What's that like? I mean, like you said, there's no plan B. Is that extra motivation? Like, no. Does it keep you in the gym, those extra reps? I mean, talk to me about that kind of mentality. Where this is gonna work, and I'm not gonna accept anything else.
So my mentality is that, like, I've came so far that, like, I had my chance to give up. I had my chance to give up at 0-2, but I stuck around and I picked up a little win. Start off on small cards, nothing big. Start off on like the Reina cards, the little cards in NOLA, the cards here, the cards there. But then I started slowly working my way up to more decent, bigger size cards, and now, like, I'm locked in. I'm signed. I'm signed now. I'm with a great team. I got my Coach Jordan, who's always just pushing me to do better, waking me up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I hope you see this. Waking me up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go train, even though I don't want to go train. But it's pushing whenever you know that this could change everything for you.
It certainly can. I want to talk to you. There was a lot right around your age within a couple of years. There's a lot of really good fighters from Corpus Christi. John Rincon and King Julian were on the card in Corpus Christi. There's yourself. I'm not sure what's going on with Xavier Nunez, but he's certainly a talented fighter. He's really, really good as an amateur. What's going on in Corpus Christi that all of a sudden there's all these fighters coming out of this little city all at the same time?
It's just the new wave, the new generation. We did have a lot of older pro fighters.
You did. It's been a while though. You had a bunch of good fighters for sure.
I don't know if we would call Mark Buke an older fighter, but he's definitely up there with
Mark
us.
Buke is another one. Absolutely. I always forget that Mark Buke. He was there in Corpus as well. Yeah.
We had Ron Guerrero, who was early up
heavyweight contender, fought forever. Yeah, we're a good dude, Ron Guerrero. One of the best guys I know.
Dang, I don't know my city's boxing history. Jesse Benavidez,
obviously the world champ.
Jared Montes, who still is.
Should have been a world champ. He fought a fight that he probably earned a decision with Brandon Figueroa in a really, really fun fight. It was probably 10 years ago now, but that was a really, really good fight.
Oh yeah, and then it's just like they all made the pathway for us to walk down, and I'm hoping that we're just making them proud by walking down that path that they laid out for us.
Jerry was a lightweight. Does he have any advice for you?
We talk here and there. He does give me advice. He's helped me out in sparring a lot, which kind of hurts at times.
He was a hell of a fighter. He was quick. He was a hell of a fighter.
And he still got it. He still moves around like he never took a day off.
If you see Jerry Belmontes again, give him my best and tell him I want to see him in the ring at least one more time.
Oh yeah, we all do.
Travis Crawford, let everyone know where they can find you on social media. And also, when do you expect, I know there's nothing official, but when do you hope to be back in the ring?
Let's mid-June, late June, like kind of like in between June.
So about a month and a half or so.
Yeah,
if
the latest, maybe July, because we all know I like to stay active. So our goal is to get to 12-2 by the end of this year.
Fight 3 more times this year?
Fight 3 more times this year.
Tell me where they can find you on social media, champ.
You can find me on Instagram at TravisC_361 and on Facebook at Travis Crawford.
Appreciate your time, champ. God bless.
Yes, sir. God bless you.